Oh boy. Stop getting set up to do the stream, the internet goes out. And then I go to complain to Spectrum and the internet goes back on. They heard. So, we should be fine, but just as a disclaimer, my internet may go out at any moment. If whatever hiccup in the system turns into a full-fledged whoopsie-daisy. But nothing we can do about that, except play the video game. I need to be in the video game if I want to use the controller. There it is. Alrighty. So, last time on Dragon Ball Z, all the cool stuff happened, which unfortunately means that this episode is going to be a lot of people talking to each other, and we don't particularly care that much. Minus a few very notable exceptions. So, let's get this chatty content out of the way. Off the labyrinthos. Any B rank near me? Let's find out. Not within draw distance. Where do B ranks like to hang out? Here-ish? Another one here? I don't remember. At least they're not in town. I'd actually love a B rank in town, just causing mayhem, but she's taking stock of the present situation.
No major injuries then. Good. I briefed the recovered soldiers and sent them on their way as quickly as I could, but nevertheless feared they would not make it in time.
The additional support was invaluable. Your men saved more than a few lives. Though not all, I regret to say.
I take it that I'm addressing Lucia Junius. I'm the Forum's envoy, Fortuno Leveilleur. And you are owed an explanation for these most dire developments.
Talking about the end times.
Another trial wrought by the final days. I was beginning to suspect as much. You doubtless feel some consternation having been forced to abandon your original plan. But trust me when I say you were right to send the refugees elsewhere. Beasts have been sighted within the capital. Perhaps it was a stroke of grim fortune that the population was decimated beforehand, as they've yet to appear in any great number, but in time. In any case, Maxima leads the remainder of the contingent in an effort to cull the creatures and evacuate the populace as we speak.
Badass Maxima.
Once the airships have taken to the skies, I pray your men can be persuaded to join him.
You'll permit us to retain our weapons?
I wouldn't have sent you after the Scions were I expecting you to stab them in the back.
And I, for one, would not consider past transgressions more relevant than future contributions. Regardless of the circumstances that saw us at odds before, we need men of courage now, more than ever.
Not? There it is. One of us. One of us.
We
River.
swore to defend Garlemald, and so we shall.
It seems you have everything under control. You will excuse me then, for mine own duties await.
A moment, Master Fortuno. You did desire to express your appreciation for services rendered, did you not?
I did. Though if you intend to again ask that Charlian alter its course, you will find my gratitude insufficient.
'Tis nothing so onerous. I wish to hear the details of this grand endeavor of yours.
Do you swear to listen and to learn, and not to embark upon some scheme to impede us?
I swear.
Any other, I would doubt. But you, I trust to keep your word. For not once have you broken it.
Fortunate looks directly at Elpis while saying this. Elpis is like, how dare you?
Very well. I will request that the Forum make you privy to our plans. You may await our summons at the Baldessian Annex, assuming the decision is in your favor. Does that suffice?
It does. You have my thanks. Excellent. You can regale us with tales of your most recent sojourn to the First while we wait.
Gotta get everybody caught up.
Did you hear something just now?
First place to look for pudding. A blasted former civilization being overrun by monsters. It's fine, it's just pudding way. He's the joke. Or she? They?
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. And to this bitter clime bring warmth and comfort.
I do enjoy how Orianti basically just becomes the shepherd of the rabbits. It's such a good role for him.
'Tis heartening to see such an assembly upon my return. I thought often of you whilst I looked down upon our star's brilliance from the moon above.
Yes, but what are you doing here? And dressed like that? Aren't you cold?
Verily, I fear for my health should I proceed to expound upon our purpose ere I procure more suitable garments.
Then allow me to summarize. We're here because none of you lot are up there. Nor has anyone deigned to send word about any changes in the plans. It's rude, is what it is. At least that's what I thought at first, but then folks got to wondering if you weren't in a spot of bother, so we decided to take matters into our own hands. Come down here and help, if our help be needed. So she says, but it's also something of a convenient excuse to visit Eorzea. Orianti made it sound absolutely marvelous. More so before the impending doom, but still. And it's not like there will ever be a better time. What with the aforementioned doom?
Marvellous, they say, yet not an ounce of pudding to be found. I must suffer Orianti's inferior works no more.
Hey! Maybe consider the plight of present company before you go blathering on about pudding and doom? Ahem. As I was saying, should you require any assistance with whatever, we are at your disposal. We were born from Hydaelyn's love for the lives of this star, so naturally we would much prefer to see them continue. Twiddling our thumbs up on the moon is hardly conducive to that, though, is it? Not when you've all got such precious thoughts and feelings and hopes for the future deserving of more active preservation. Speaking to Eorzea made us realize that while we've carried out our duties to the letter, we've failed to fulfill them in spirit. From there, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump towards resolving to do better. So please, show us how. Help us help you.
Help us, help you, help us all.
Forgive me, but are they...
Thy distant collaborators, indeed.
Hail, fellow, well met. You'd be a member of the Forum, would you? It's an honor and a pleasure to meet you at last. I'm Livingway, Hydaelyn's right paw. That last bit is very important, as am I, if I may humbly say so myself.
I bid you welcome to our star, Livingway. On behalf of the Forum, I thank you for traveling such a distance to meet us. As you have surmised, preparations for the Exodus have not proceeded as smoothly as we had hoped. I should be happy to personally escort you to our headquarters in Sharlayan, where you may advise us as you deem fit.
'Twas with reluctance that I set aside the great work of readying the moon for habitation. Be assured that I did so only after the Lopporits made plain their earnest desire to come hither, and I myself felt a growing certainty that their contributions here would prove invaluable.
I love seeing Fortunal having to do everything within his power to keep his crap together upon seeing that the mystical people he's been talking to this whole time are a bunch of bunny rabbits.
'Tis trite, perhaps, but I followed my heart.
Good to haveth you back.
For a time, at least. Nevertheless, 'twas worth the journey to find present company well. Wilt thou attend us at the Forum and lend thine own wisdom?
Sure.
If that's all quite settled, can we start moving before Eorzea catches his death? Even I'm freezing out here.
Oh, I dare say you'll warm up quickly once you're aboard the airship. Sat shoulder to shoulder with our fur-covered friends.
And we're back. In Charlemagne. Hello. I dare say Master Fortunal was as nonplussed as we to learn the identity of Hydaelyn's lunar custodians. As he'll soon discover, they have much and more to offer the Forum. But I suggest we return to the Annex forthwith. You may yet have time to discuss thy recent adventures ere we are summoned to the Rostra. You hear that, Midgard Stormer? We're gonna be summoned to the Rostra. Put me as far away from an aetherburners as you can. God. Oh. Ah, there's an aetherburners bell here. I'm just like, oh, there's people still running the latest variant dungeon. Oh. Someone's doing camera work. Not taking. Good day for it. All right. Na-na-na. Into the cutscene room. And it was this big. Not that I'm complaining, Eorzea, but I wasn't expecting to see you quite so soon. Nor I thee, in extolling the virtues of Aetheris, I did inadvertently awaken in the Lopporits a desire to avert our beloved star's demise. Viola tells us you have obtained new knowledge that may aid us in our ongoing efforts. I have news to share regarding our study of the ethereal sea, but your findings are certain to be of greater interest, and so I would rather hear them first. To what revelations did Heidelin's Elpis flower lead? Oh, got that whole cutscene to run through. And then I chatted with him for hours. And he didn't believe a word I said. And the snake didn't drop. And this dynamis is what drives the final days. If it and Akasa are one of the same, this all but proves Nidhana's theory. We're an entity through sheer force of emotion to channel this vast, dormant reservoir into a raging river. Its power might surpass even that of ether. But if our star is so replete with ether, said entity would need to be outside its influence to effectively manipulate the dynamis of the great expanse. Meteion. Or rather, the sorrow and suffering of fallen civilizations that she has been hoarding for millennia. Untold anguish and fear and hatred, drawn from every corner of the universe, all for a single purpose, the destruction of Aetheris. And our foe is no longer some unknowable calamity. We have but one aim, to defeat Meteion. Estinian's like, let's stab it! I agree with Estinian. You make it sound so simple, but you're not wrong. Vanquish Meteion, we deliver the world from the final days, but to even attempt it, there are two conditions. First, we must determine her location. Before Meteion escaped, an enchantment was placed upon her by Vina, the woman who would become Heidelin. The implications of temporal magics are not entirely understood, and so we cannot assume that our Heidelin and the Vina you met in Elpis are one and the same. Nevertheless, due to her intrinsic qualities as an all-powerful being, I'd wager that Heidelin possesses the knowledge we seek. Whether she would share that knowledge with us, however, remains to be seen. After all, she intends for us to flee Aetheris, not to stay. You suppose she has abandoned her pursuit of Meteion? Vina, I know, would never give up. There's no asshole answer, so. That's my impression too. Otherwise, she wouldn't have used me as a conduit for her will or provided clues such as Elpis flower. I believe she has been in waiting for mankind's answer to Hermes' question. So what's the second condition? We must find a means to reach Meteion. Naturally, our chosen method will depend entirely upon wheresoever she has made her nest. And communing with Heidelin must by necessity come first. Did you and Master Matoya have any luck with your investigation into the Ethereal Sea? Sadly not. Though we enlisted the help of our involved and other Echo-blessed allies, we couldn't detect so much as a whisper from Heidelin, even from within the Antitower. Master Matoya is of the opinion that in the years since abandoning it, the Forum has found some other method of receiving instructions from Heidelin. If so, it would likely be some form of apparatus for observing the Ethereal Sea built closer to home. Sorry to interrupt, but we just received word from the Forum. Your presence is required in the roster where they intend to discuss the Great Exodus. Your father was able to persuade them. Finally taking it seriously. Let's hear what they have to say. Alrighty. Which among you will have something interesting to say? It was Heidelin's commandment that in the event Zodiark should perish, the Lopporits were to deliver the people of Aetheris from harm. Though that be the limit of their duties, they possess knowledge unparalleled of the great expanse and the means of its traversal. Should they be persuaded to assist in our efforts to reach Meteion, we would do well to heed their counsel, planting the seeds for galactic exploration, which is going on right now. first I wasn't sure what to make of Hermes and his motives. But it's like we discussed at the Great Work. When faced with the harsh realities of life, some seek the release of death, others grow defiant. They fight. Either way, it's our right to choose. Well, that was a much quicker response than I was expecting. Nice to know our efforts on the Magna Glacius did not go unnoticed. Lally ho, slally ho. Father's granted us the opportunity we've been waiting for. Though we know not what information, if any, they intend to reveal, there's only one way to find out. Yeah. Hope you don't mind me staying behind while you attend your big meeting. The rush reminds me a bit too much of the supremely scary tribunal in Ishgard. You'll forgive me if I keep my distance. That's an interesting callback. All the way back when Tataru and Alphino were captured as heretics. Wow. I enjoy that. After you left for Garlemald, I went to Labyrinthos and tried to reach Heidelin through using the Elpis flowers. Alas, my attempts were in vain. I can only assume that she spent a vast amount of her power in the confrontation with Van Daniel and is presently unable to communicate. Indeed, as her presence left my body, I could feel how faint it had grown. Master Matoya has suspected for some time that the Forum has been constructing a new facility for the purpose of surveying the Ethereal Sea. Of course, as the custodian of the Anti-Tower, which would presumably be rendered obsolete as a result, she has a few things to say about that. Nothing that should be repeated in polite company, you understand. They literally handed Matoya the keys to the Anti-Tower and were like, we're not using this anymore. Bastards. You young rapscallions. After sending Graha and Estinian back to Garlemald, I stayed in Locus Amanius for some time. Being an imperial province, it was already in turmoil before the onset of the final days. You wouldn't believe the difficulties we had overseeing the evacuation of the villages we visited. I have faith that the detachment we left behind will continue our work and shepherd the people to safety. To what safety can be found in a world coming to an end? Cheeky Thancred, cheeky. Take the Crystal Tower, the first is capable of such feats as sending one's soul into the distant past. The events you witnessed and helped shape may yet hold the key to forestalling the final days. I'm reminded of our dear friends in a future I unmade, whose selfless efforts saw the 8th Umbral Calamity averted, in this timeline at least. Too much has been sacrificed for us to abandon Atheris now. To the next cutscene. It's Rostra Steward. Form is incessant as such the rosters close to visitors. They tell me to come here. It's Highness, 7th Dawn. Well, we may wait in the corridor. Of course, entry will only be permitted on the condition you leave your armaments at the door, lest you forget the sacred institution holds rational discourse in the highest. Implements of war are expressly forbidden. Run in there, blades drawn. Eden's stuff looks good. There's tiers 2 and 3 particularly have some good stuff, and the Eden weapons are the base for the FRU ultimate weapon sets. So if you like an FRU weapon, but you don't want to run an ultimate, you can run Eden. Well, Savage, I guess.
I wish to raise with you before we enter.
To get whatever base weapon interests you. Also, what's kind of nice is because Future's rewritten Ultimate came out somewhat recently, then some weapons that didn't exist in Shadowbringers you can also still get, like Pictomancer stuff and Sage stuff. It's fun. They did that when the Omega Protocol came out. Also, sort of got some extra weapons sort of plopped into the Omega Savage pockets.
We are here to listen and to learn. But if the Forum's plans are more or less what I expect, then I should like to make a proposal that will serve our ends. By your leave, of course.
Consider it left. Oh no, they took my glasses!
I don't see why not. Your words and wits have gotten us this far.
Agreed. I will present our queries so that you may consider the most advantageous way to advance your proposal without distraction.
Thank you, everyone.
If I may have your attention, the ad hoc session will now commence. The purpose of today's assembly is to brief the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, at their request, on the Great Exodus.
I really should swap over to spectacles, like the gear. My Warrior of Light's gonna fall down the stairs.
On behalf of the Forum, I commend your heroic actions on the Magna Glacies.
Glacies?
We shall not soon forget your service to us and the people of Eorzea. The Satrap, whom we have informed of the refugees' new arrangements, sings your praises as well. As an expression of our gratitude, we will endeavor to answer your questions as fully and openly as we are able.
Then let us begin. First, it is the Forum's objective to ferry the life and knowledge of this star to the moon. Am I correct?
You are. It is for this purpose that Sharlayan has labored these many long years. We have collected biological samples and scientific records from across the star. When the time comes, they will be moved from their places in Labyrinthos and Numenon and conveyed to safety. Once that critical task has been accomplished, we will begin transporting the Sharlayan citizenry, which has been categorized into groups. The earliest arrivals are to ensure hospitable environs for those who come after. Following our people, we will send those of other nations in turn, beginning with our allies. Eorzea was foremost among these. But since the final days have already come to Thavnair, we saw fit to include the refugees with earlier groupings.
An ambitious plan. You have accounted for the safety of all nations and tribes, then?
As many as we can.
And how, pray tell, do you decide who to leave behind?
To journey beyond the sky is an unprecedented and immeasurably difficult endeavor. Introducing sources of inevitable conflict would condemn all to certain death.
Questions as to the validity of that approach aside, are your plans proceeding apace? We're under the impression that your primary means of celestial transportation is incomplete.
If only in that it does not meet our optimal parameters, that is correct. This Ark, as some have taken to calling it, is fully operational and could be launched even today. However, the final days have progressed more quickly than we anticipated. At present, the ship is incapable of attaining speeds sufficient to meet our evacuation targets. Should we put the vessel into service, as it is now, we will be unable to travel to the moon and back quickly enough to complete the necessary number of trips. Precious lives and knowledge will be lost.
Seven hells. Is there anything to be done?
The aetherburner, the primary means of propulsion once the craft is in the space between stars, is undergoing testing to determine whether it can be made more efficient. Though cargo is being loaded for the initial phase of the Exodus, we are prepared to continue our experimentation up to the day before launch, should it prove necessary.
What if the Scions were to solve your problem? We shall help devise a means to improve the aetherburners' efficiency, on 2 conditions. If we succeed, you must allow us to meet with Hydaelyn.
Oh, right.
'Twas simple enough to deduce. You have a Concord, and so you would never have abandoned the Anti-Tower had you no other means of communication. One far more convenient, I suspect.
The second condition, also to be met upon our success, is that we be permitted to propose another use for your Ark.
We would be at liberty to refuse this proposal.
Of course. If we cannot prove its merit to the 99 here, who are we to stake on it the lives of all peoples of this star?
Yeah.
Delightful as always, Master Alfino. Oh, we couldn't have asked for a finer plan. Allow us to solve this complex engineering problem of which we were entirely unaware until moments ago. What could possibly go wrong? The satire writes itself. Yet, what field has not benefited from a change in perspective? When we are at wit's end, what we need is not the same dry theories recited ad nauseam, but fresh inspiration. I, for one, have faith in my erstwhile students to provide it, and I find their terms to be perfectly acceptable.
Order! Order! We have no time to waste on debate. I call a vote. All in favor of agreeing to the Scion's terms? "71 in favor, 28 against. The ayes have it. Fourcheneau, as the architect of this project, you are the best candidate to show them its current state. And bear in mind that regardless of your personal misgivings, this is the will of the Forum.
Very well.
I call this session to a close. Return to your tasks with urgency. The final days wait for none.
Got out of there. I got my glasses back. Oh, okay. Let's see. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Alright. The last time I'm gonna go blind. There we go. Haha! Are they slightly different? Close enough. Let's go. Let's go. We got things to do. And all of those things will now be seen correctly. Alright, what do you got? I have every intention of honoring the Forum's decision. While I very much take issue with the Forum's approach to selecting whom to save and when, they're not wrong for wanting to minimize potential conflicts. Fortunately, if this plan of ours actually works, the Great Exodus itself will become entirely unnecessary. Bringing up the issue of the Forum's incomplete arc was more than a little daunting. They were, to their credit, quite open about the current state of affairs. What was even more surprising, though, was when they took Alpha up on his offer. I'm a little vexed that we've yet to learn the Forum's replacement for the Anti-Tower, though I expect that in time they'll share that too with us, and with Master Montoya if they have any sense. See no sign of the Lopporits. This being their first opportunity to experience the wonders of Charlie, and the potential for misadventure is nigh infinite. My affinity for espionage may have earned me the title of Archon, but I was completely unaware of the Forum's plans. There may have been clues here and there, but I have a mind to look for them. Had I been a mind to look for them, but contemplating the possibility only serves to further wound my pride. Not that anyone could have realistically surmised that their brilliant stratagem was to build a giant ship, fly to the moon, a still larger vessel in truth, and use that to travel to another star. Even now, the whole idea seems positively absurd when spoken aloud. Yeah, well, Fortunal's motivation through all of this is to look after his kids. And his kids are up to no good. He's trying to do his best. Perhaps if Midgard Surmer was still alive... I'm going to zoom in on Midgard Surmer when he says that. In the traditional sense, that is. Okay, never mind. He could have offered to help the vessel attain the necessary speeds. Then again, there's no guarantee his contribution would make enough of a difference to matter. Did you hear that, Midgard Surmer? Estinian's thinking of you. Not just me. Midgard Surmer's playing it cool. No, he's cool with it. We're cool. We're all cool here. Further we pursue the mysteries of the universe, the more I struggle to comprehend the fortuitous nature of time itself. We measure and quantify it based on observation of celestial bodies, such as the sun and moon. But from your account, it is unclear whether the ancients viewed time in a similar manner. I mention this because while Vanan knew the final days would reoccur at a defined point in the future, she presumably had no way of knowing exactly when. Even so, the contemplation of the Forum's preparations to escape to the moon aligning so closely with the advent of the final days is surely no coincidence. That's a good point. Sorry about not letting the rest of you in on my plan. I was admittedly thinking on my feet for the most part. But since we require both as a means of communicating with Hydaelyn and reaching Medion, in a spur of the moment I saw involving ourselves with the completion of the arc as a way to move both objects simultaneously. However, we must first keep to our end of the bargain by solving the problem of the aetherburner. I'd like to think it not as a challenge beyond our combined expertise, or at least the expertise of our extended circle of associates. It might behoove us to learn how an aetherburner actually works before we attempt to improve it, though. Potentially. Yeah, this is also probably one of the more fun parts of going back to Elpis, is hearing about how we've been up to no good since the beginning of time, and also how Vana, now a role model, has also been up to no good. It's just a lineage of troublemaking. Portunal's ability to maintain a stiff upper lip is being sorely tested. As instructed, I shall take you to see the aetherburner. Meet me outside the Archeon. I trust you can make your own way there. Can't even stare at you right now. So the Ark is being built in Labyrinthos. Hardly surprising. Where else would they conceal such a massive undertaking? Yes. They just want us to take this way. This way. This way. Alright, here we go. Theoretically, it would have been faster to the Aetherite, whatever. I'm RP running, walking, whatever. Let me in! Alright, where am I going from here? Over there? Fine. Not talking to you all again. Destination lies in the lower levels. The Forum, in its wisdom, has granted you access to the Archeon's lift. Step inside and have Ophiline take you to the medial circuit. Take me to the ether currents. Get me in. Oh, not on this side. Just walk it away from me. It's cool. I sent your associates ahead to Logisticon Alpha on the other side of Mariel Agronomics. Actually, there is something I've been meaning to... No, never mind. It can wait. Let us attend to the matter at hand. Yes, I am the cool aunt. What do you want to know? What do you wish to ask of the cool aunt? Are we going all the way? I can't fly yet. Ugh. At least we can take this elevator. It does make it a little faster. Coming, my beloved ether currents. They kept us apart, but only for so long. It's rat butt. Labyrinthos theme is still real strong. Knowing the Forum, even the people working down here are probably kept in the dark about the true purpose of this place. On our journey here, I was filled with an inexplicable sense of elation to see vegetables other than carrots being cultivated. Why it near brought a tear to mine eye. We must be close to the central circuit. This is where Charlene's greatest secrets are held. If the tomes I perused told the whole story. The fields were passed along the way, brought back memories of Ferndale. Unfortunately, we were never blessed with such abundant crops. I'd like to think that Estinian was leaning on the post and then somebody yelled at him to not lean on the post. So now he's just crossing his hands and standing up. Further underground we go, the more surprises we find. All right, Alpha, no. We are to wait here for while our Faja arranges for us to use the next lift. Here being Logisticon Alpha, where the atmospheric conditions of Labyrinthos are regulated. Getting that lore in there. Water is drawn from underground and dispersed as vapor, simulating the formation of artificial clouds and rain. By manipulating the temperature and air circulation, they are able to create the ideal environment for the growth and preservation, blah, blah, blah. It's science. Before I've been asking Father how the clouds are made, so he decided to show me. It's fascinating. I peppered him with questions the entire time. It's all too easy to take for granted the many interweaving aspects of the natural world, to grow inured to the wondrous. But having gained an understanding of the complex mechanisms employed by the Lopporits in recreating a similar environment, I've come to view such processes in a new light. The subterranean gardens of Labyrinthos, the lunar prison forged to contain the ancient Zodiarch, the habitations built for all mankind beneath the moon's surface, each unique yet undeniably similar. 'Tis no mere coincidence. Ever since Hydaelyn unfolded to us the grim fate that awaits Aetheris, every essential resource we could spare has been delivered to Labyrinthos in preparation for the Great Exodus. But that is not all. It is also a testing ground for the technologies that will allow us to settle on distant stars. Though the Lopporits have endeavored to make the moon inhabitable, that is not our final destination. Mankind must learn to propagate life where there is none, to thrive where all is barren. Alas, time is not on our side. I've arranged for you all to enter the Central Circuit. It is there that the most of our preparations for the Great Exodus are carried out, the construction of the Ark among them. Though our plans have been made public, access remains highly restricted. You, however, will not be subject to said restrictions and will have free reign to come and go as you please. Such was the will of the Forum, after all. We will prove ourselves worthy of their trust. Then let us proceed. Hard ass to the end. Let me in! By decree of the Forum of the... Yes. Aetherburner is being constructed not far from here. Overseeing the work is Mr. Dank, after whom the forge is named. Once the necessary introduction have been made, I shall leave you with him to discuss the particulars. This way. They want us to go this way. Want us to go around that way? Fine. Fine. I will abide. For now. The ether current is anyway. There's a B rank here. Is it B rank here? Can be. Is it ooh 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 ooh? Is it ooh ooh ooh? Sometimes he's over here. Let's see. No, he's not here today. It'll be past the town. In the wild? He's just ignoring me. Yeah, absolutely gutted. Over there somewhere. Alright, what do we got? Many of the facilities in the central circuit seem to be visible from the upper levels. The more secretive work must be carried out behind closed doors. The man we seek. Do not try to startle him. Surely Forum hath already petitioned the aid of the Lopporits, given their familiarity with such technologies. Is he talking to himself? He looks lost in thought. This is stumbling block. Alright, whatever. Mr. Dank! It's a dank potato.
I could swap them out. No, been there, done that. Damn near lost me eyebrows. Think, Coco, think! We'd be well on our way to paradise. Visionaries patting themselves on the backs for their grand accomplishments if you'd only think!
Yes. That does sound rather lovely.
Yeah! I mean, Master Force, you know, what a pleasant surprise. We're not blasting off already, are we?
The schedule remains unchanged, for better which is why the Forum has elected to accept assistance in resolving the aetherburner conundrum.
I think that's he's wearing a crafting set I think you can get.
Down here before.
There are archons among their number, but engineering is not their expertise. Nevertheless, the Forum concedes the slim possibility that they may have insights to offer. If not, you are at liberty to return them to the surface, by whatever means you see fit.
I assure you that won't be necessary. Now, about your troubles with the aetherburner.
Aye, aye, I'll walk you through it. Suppose I could do with a change of pace. As the name ought to tell you, the aetherburner burns ether, ambient or otherwise, and transforms it into motive force. Think of it like a giant bomb that never stops exploding. Even out in that black void where the ether's right sparse, it's strong enough to move our arc. And it probably won't kill you like an actual bomb. But it ain't perfect. According to my calculations, to travel to the moon and back fast enough for the Forum's liking, the conversion rate needs to be 6% more efficient. A measly 6%, you say? But if I could have squeezed even another 0.6 out of it, don't you think I'd have built it that way in the first place?
Hast thou consulted with the Lopporits?
Yes, they too are conducting their own research, for lack of a ready answer. The moon's propulsion systems are considerable, naturally, yet they are commensurately massive. It is no easy feat to convert their technology into an efficient means of propulsion for a teeny tiny toy boat, as they say, and as I most certainly do not.
Yes, exactly! Damn it all, I asked for refined adamantite and they send me uppity rabbits with inscrutable, ancient, incompatible technology! You're trying to drive me mad!
Do you speak of Allegan refined adamantite, perchance?
You know of it?
Only in the most general terms, I'm afraid. 'Twas an alloy of Allegan make, but the secrets of its production were closely guarded.
The number of times it just helps to have the last of the line of crown princes of Allegan in your back pocket for story convenience.
As I recall, the record stated it was vital to Dalaman's construction and launch.
Oi, that's the stuff. No material more conductive far as I know. Slotting some ins like blowing up a dam and watching the river of ether come rushing through. Ain't a living soul that knows how to make it though. We were fortunate enough to salvage some for the ether burner, just a wee bit, mind, from a chunk of Dalamud that came hurtling into the northern empty during the calamity. With more, well, that extra 6% efficiency would be child's play. It's a crying shame that we've no other sources.
Surely the many shards of Dalamud scattered throughout Eorzea would suffice. Why not get the refined adamantite from them?
Oh, we tried, believe you me. But only a few specialised pieces would have had any in them to begin with. Drive calls from Ragnarok-class internment hulks. Those are the prize bits we really need. According to the Gleaners, getting to them means delving deep into the shards. And the defences are still very operational and very eager to blow them up. It's rough going in there, even for the cream. Not sure they'd make it out alive.
I 150% selected you want me to go and fetch the Whatsits when I played through this the first time. I thought this is how this was gonna go. And I'm just like, oh cool, we get to go to all the zones and beat up Allegan construction to get medals. I didn't realize you were gonna do the biggest phone a friend from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in existence. But I'm picking you want me to go and fetch the Whatsits again, because it's too funny.
That may be for the best, though you doubtless find the task too dull for your liking.
Come on, I've done 50 stuff. Too dull.
There are multiple interment hulks in Eorzea alone, so handling this ourselves may not be the most efficient option. Rather, if we could salvage adamantite from the shards simultaneously... Thancred, is the link shell we established before you went to Garlemald still active?
Of course. The floor is yours.
What's all this? Gathering firewood, so to speak. We alone can accomplish little, but joined by others, we may yet build a bonfire to carry us heavensward.
Yeah, he said heavensward on purpose.
This is Alphino. The Scions have need of you.
Understood. I will contact the Lord Commander and dispatch our finest at once.
My sisters are somewhat preoccupied with the final days, so I will lead the 12-Sword expedition myself.
Are you aware of any other sources of refined adamantite?
Logically, such an invaluable alloy would have been utilized solely where absolutely necessary, in components intended to conduct or collect surpassing amounts of ether. Any extant instrumentation or devices would have likely found their way into the hands of etherologists or enthusiasts.
Magical artifacts of Allagan design? The Eastern Alliance will send word to one and all. Are there other ways we may offer aid? No shards of the Lesser Moon scar our soil, but our stake in this cause is no less for it.
Is there anything in Othard that might be of use to you?
What did you say? Oh, you got friends in far places, lad. Anyway, if you're offering, I wouldn't say no to one of those Far Eastern sacred relics. Some of them can hold enough ether to summon a whole damn primal. Combine a source like that with the ether burner, and 3, 2, 1, kaboom!
Planting the whole damn primal seed right here. One of my favorite parts of this upcoming sequence.
His explosive enthusiasm. Might you secure us a suitable relic?
It shall be done. I know little of machines, but I promise we will do our utmost to gather the materials you need to finish your starship. I am glad for the work, in truth. Better to busy oneself than wait and fret over disasters foretold.
Then why are we all still standing about yapping? This plunder for the taking. And I'm a born plunderer. I'll be an old Charlian before you know it. Start mixing the grog.
I'm certain that can be arranged. Thank you all, and do be careful.
Just like that.
Aye, just like that. Our refined adamantite is on its way. Now let us consider our next steps, shall we? There's yet much to be done.
Theoretically, the Red Codes are still being jerks. Appreciate you doing all this, but I ain't getting me hopes up just yet. Aha, caught you looking. Considering how much of a fuss he made at the time, I don't see why he takes every opportunity to bring it up. It was just firewood. Confident that even the deadliest of Allagan defense mechanisms are no match for our allies. At this rate, some of them might assume have as many accomplishments to their names as a certain warrior of light. Time and time again, it seems that Allagan something or others are either the cause or the solution to our problems. Grant T is reading the script. I think the self-same materials once lost to Dalamud will now be used to help ferry mankind to the moon. There's a poetry in that. First to Lopporits, now the final days. No one can accuse the Ilsebard contingent of backing down from a challenge. Of course, they weren't also committed to the cause when we first set out. But after seeing the example set by you, Alfino, and the others, the change was palpable. They couldn't help but believe. What serendipitous irony that the remnants of the 7th Umbral Calamity would become the keys to mankind's salvation. Never more certain have I been that Master Louis Swall watcheth over us from the ethereal sea. There are no oaths or contracts binding the members of the Ilsebard contingent, and in many ways, it was even more loosely organized than the Crystal Braves. Nevertheless, I knew none would refuse this call to arms. Truly, we've been blessed with trustworthy and dependable allies. Oh, I'm all for relying on the power of friendship, but we're now left with the rare luxury of having nothing to do. There must be something that requires our attention. Iron Mike. Shout out to Iron Mike. Times like these were reminded of how famous or infamous Alfino has become. Who'd have thought he could achieve so much with a single link pearl conversation? As we're expecting, or rather, a lot of visitors in the near future, it'd be best to return to the surface and inform the relevant parties. I also have a contact of my own that might be worth a try. Who might that be? For me to know and for you to find out. On that note, I leave matters here in your capable hands. Best of luck. I've not run coils, so... Well... No. Meanwhile, in Uda... Keep an eye out. Dude. Hunt for trainers. Oh. Found the syndicate.
Our course of action is clear. We must harvest refined adamantite from the shards of Dalamud and procure arcane relics of Allagan make. Summon the best and brightest of our immortal flames and form an expeditionary party at once. Call upon the Sultan Sworn and Brass Blades for support as you must.
Sultan Sworn. Look at paladins, they're busy.
Papashan, send word to the guilds. We will require the expertise of master artisans if we are to have any hope of identifying and recovering these elusive materials.
Paladins aren't doing anything interesting. They're standing in the middle of frozen lakes, pulling their gems out.
There, guys. We have need of your stone torches. They are to assist the immortal flames in scouring the ruins and to help secure the surrounding areas. I trust I can count on your support.
As commander of the Stone Torches, my son Zimberk will personally see it done.
Go Setsu?
Pippin, I would have you lead the raiding party. Assemble your finest, and with Tizona's blade clear the way. Lord Lolorito, I pray you to...
Also, wait, that might be Siegfried. Ah!
Surely you know of some being traded on open or clandestine markets, or sleeping in collectors' vaults. Of course, I ask not that you do this out of the kindness of your heart. By all means, profit on the transactions. I wish you the joy of it. The final days descend upon our world. If circumstances are truly as dire as they say, Uldar's best efforts may be for naught. And yet, when we Eorzeans rose from the ashes to rebuild our broken realm, did we not learn one simple truth? That which seems all but impossible to overcome alone may yet be possible if we stand together. It was the Scions who united us then, and it is the Scions who call upon us now. Uldar will answer that call. We will summon our courage and join the fight for our world's future. You know your duties. I, Nanamo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, bid you good luck and Godspeed.
I do enjoy how Alpha and Omega will show up basically everywhere. They even, I believe they actually added them to Dawn Trail in a couple places. like in the major towns. It's a nice touch. They also, whenever there's any sort of events that go on, like seasonal events, they show up to those pretty frequently. Fall Gorge float. Who goes there? Hey, it's the archer trainer on the left. There you are. And technically, those are, I believe, God's Bow is the name of those people from Gridania. They're supposed to be like SEAL Team 6 for Gridania. So they're sending in the badasses. God's Quiver? Maybe God's Quiver.
Number, but our ranks are heavy with healers. And an abundance of restorative magics will be of little help in destroying Dalamud's defenses. Still, it has ever been thus with Gridania. We must steel ourselves for a protracted engagement.
Meanwhile...
In that case, might I suggest taking us along?
DPS saying looking for group.
Commander Hext, what are you doing here?
We want to punch things.
None of the shards in Girabania are big enough to hold an internment hulk. So we said to ourselves, why not lend our neighbors a hand? We thought you might be short on people with a talent for breaking things.
I miss you, Ida.
While it pains me to admit it, you are right. Our deficiency so plain to see.
It might have been a lifetime ago, but I was once one of the scions assigned to the Shroud. I know this forest well. I know your people. And I know we will be stronger if we fight this fight together.
Person in the background is the custom deliveries. You cannot change her outfit. One of the only people that you can't change what they look like. The other one's Elto, but that's fine because Elto looks perfect as they are. Does not require anything.
I will impose upon you with a clear conscience. Come, let us speak of how to integrate our forces.
I won't let it all be for nothing. I promise you, Papalimo.
Up, going to the grave.
There you are. We've no time to waste, brother. Everyone has already...
Worth noting that they are explicitly calling out all the people that you then will then see in the idoscope.
That was a roar. A dragon's roar.
Meanwhile, in the Ruby Sea.
And so, in summation, the Eastern Alliance, as well as the Honorable Lord Lolorito himself, reached out to me for assistance in procuring these treasures of the divine, and I, in turn, do beseech the Confederacy for aid. Is that
Koroban?
Hancock?
Thoroban.
What a surprise this is.
He's not a Forlord yet.
And a fortuitous one at that. I have a favor to ask, you see.
Woo, 92. And no, I have a different one in my 1, 2, 3 combo. It's nice, I guess. Our friends are searching for refined adamantite and sacred relics. We will only know if they meet your requirements once they have arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else you may do of service? We've already done more than enough. If I had to say, though, I can use someone who knows a thing or two about elegant technology. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair. You seem to know more about the average than the average scholar. Only Master Kokol knew how right he was. Well, he and Graha established a rapport. How about we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? I agree this would mean going above and beyond the terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favor. As confident as I am we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This should also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traveling the Great Expanse. If nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantite. Only to a bunch of helpful buggers. If you have a mind to lend a hand, I know where you ought to go. Charlie and Hamlet is lousy with researchers and scholarly types busying themselves preparation for the Exodus. Bah! And a lot need all the help they can get. Let's make busy work. What do you got? Yeah. No. Wait a minute. You're not sneaking that ether current by me, no siree, Bob. You know, I'll just go up there and then we go round. Then we go round the bend. Make sure none of these are blue quests. I think all the blue quests are down here when they're done. Specifically over here. Samurai to 100. You get some real anime effects on your Meikyo Shishui Iajutsu combos. Yeah, we're going further away. Gotta go up and around. I'll not bother with it for a bit. I discovered a new location. In order to protect the secrets of the Central Circuit, the researchers must navigate a bewildering maze of paperwork where they are permitted to return to the surface. I suppose it's no different than any other aspect of Charlian society. We do love our bureaucracy. Very much a mirror of the city above, which is perhaps how it came to be called Charlian Hamlet. Quaint little settlement this is. A shame it is hidden underground. I don't mind a bit of heavy lifting, but I draw the line of paperwork. So much as wave a sheaf of documents at me and I'll put my lance through it. surprised as I was, still in the forum plan to send everyone to the moon. I can't imagine how the common folk must feel about it. Yeah, whatever. Why, I see Evie in the shadow of yon corner. One can hope this leadeth not to mischievous undertakings. Ah, he's looking out for the rabbits. From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholark Montechagney mentioned. Alright, let's go talk to 3 people. There's 1. All the stuff we care about later is in Aporia. The vexed veterinarian. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I will help you, small child. Where do they want us to go? Over there? This... Yes, Charlene... I think so, anyway. Yes. Charlie and Hamlet is where the special deliveries is, and then Aporia is where Pandemonium is. Anyway, let's go talk to 3 people. I just need 3. You. Helping with the Ark, even with all the power Master Coco's managed to squeeze out of the aetherburners, still not enough, apparently. Now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we begun the exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if you don't fulfill our duties. But we will! We spent years preparing for this moment, believe in the plan, and all will be well. It's Poltasane. Be kind to be able to organize the rest of the documents for myself. It's mostly a list of the things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our new home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I'm not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants, while I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like the beheaded rabbit that ran by. Third person isn't outside the walls, are they? They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do us dirty like that. No. Up there you are. Are you one of the new helpers? Yes, I am a new helper. Working on the aetherburner. Oh dear, I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties, checking and loading samples day in, day out. It's tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be crossed if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is, what with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. Lots of power people have opinions on that. Heart goes out to Master Fortunate and the others. Hardly gets a moment to rest, I expect. Do you even have time to sleep? It's them. Friends of the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, the callback, which is quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. What we're really interested in is Theros itself, though we now find ourselves in sort of a funny underground miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we were planning to do until we chanced upon Eorzea and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about and engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? No. You have 500k for that one? Oh, I need 15 million experience. I need 15 million experience for the next level, and I got 500k on the quest. Well, I need to complete 30 quests then. That's not... Well, that's a lot of quests, but it's not absolutely insurmountable. Try as he might, Eorzea cannot free himself of the Lopporits. Tour of Labyrinthos. Given the similarities twixt this artificial environment and the Bastways Burrow, it would be in our best interest to have the Lopporits acquaint themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would be risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspective. Mayhap thou art better suited to lead this venture. What a marvelous idea. What we begin with that great big what's-it over yonder. Believe its explanation to Viola. There will be no correct answers on this tour. Bigart Summer is excited for the nonsense I'm about to pick. Oh my god. Actually, hang on a minute. Is there only the one left? Yep. Still not an emote. Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magic, it's positively stupendous. Perhaps we can go direct our attention to its most important features. Tanks. A little hard to see from here, but there's that golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks. I can see through the window of another pipe at the bottom. Must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Wheel. No, not wheel. No, well, metallic tube. Is that water I hear from inside the great big tube? It must be because of those cogs and gigantic wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That's how they draw up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside it, too. Mushroom-like thing. It looks like the trees in Greatest Ensville. Hold on, that's a bit of a strange shape. It's thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced, too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water. I feel like I did that much faster than I first did. I remember getting stuck trying to find the things. I didn't even try this time, too. I don't even know what past me was thinking. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install it in even the harshest of environments. For us Lopporits, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. Did it just start raining while it started raining while talking about procuring water. Environment effects, God bless you. We have read, however, that people of Aethera sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and such. How are they able to survive? Areas near waterfalls are common types for villages in Garabania. There are no stupid answers. It was just you want to talk about Thinland or Garabania. So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. You provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear we rely on it far more than we'd anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. Maybe also be wondering more about exactly how they obtain their water in the first place. Mr. Alfino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Lopporits will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Let's journey beyond the sanctuary with Charlie and Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? Valid concern indeed. We cannot help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. While we're not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, to many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, Lopporits may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. But I pose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage. For my part, I shall act as escort to living way and cooking way, and trust singing way and growing way to thy care. Yeah, sure, we'll do it. More valiant protector they could not whisper. Godspeed. I think these glasses are just very, very slightly different. It's throwing me off. But like they're 95% the same. Just not slightly more rounded in certain places. But I'm gonna keep them on during cutscenes that they take my helmet off, goddammit. The important things. It's all the same to you. I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beastie. Come along, do the extraction. I suppose best to get it, best to get acclimated to it now. The sooner it stops bothering me, the sooner I can just have glasses on at all times. What's this? Actually fighting things? Perish the thought. We've done it. I really hope this water extraction, what's it, is worth these harrowing experiences. All part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you. Ah, yes. I might as well while I'm here. Get wrecked, idiot. Hello, side quest. Perfect. I'll deal with you later. We're all here. We're not dead. Yes. Back up to Logisticon Alpha. Let me up. Uppies. Where is this magic, or science rather, takes place? Perfect environment to sustain life artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Aetheris just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources, I wonder? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous. I cannot wait to see more of it! It's all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? Mariel agronomics, expansion, Sinuway, and the others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus. Would that be so kind as to escort our visiting culinarian? Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Eorzea was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if not a bit too verbose descriptions cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention the Theros will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there's still time. We shall brook no further delay, and off they goes. Mucking about. Gotta kill time for the MacGuffins are placed in the thing. Ugh. I can't look at it. My gear's not at 100% durability. It's bothering me. There's a place, yes. The heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I'd dearly love to try some, but I've read that those who help themselves through farmers' crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you can ask whoever's in charge if they're willing to part with a few samples. No chatty chat places. It's Jepke. Hey, do you have berries? How about them low poly grapes? It's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rust off my feet preparing for the exodus. I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here, up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us, but no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We merely wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. Help yourselves. It's my noggin. Low poly grapes. Eat them. So sweet, so sour. The taste is like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. Eat more grapes. Low poly grapes. Low poly grapes. Ghastly things. I'd rather eat rancid gigantode eyeballs. Oh, the sassy finger wag. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. How odd. No accounting for taste is there. I'm going to dislike every piece of food for fun. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's find out. Equal parts cheat and swowers with the grapes and nothing alike. I may have to consult Eorzea about expanding my vocabulary, so we cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. It's all very complicated, you know. So many flavors, so many choices. And each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you all turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous things though they were in my estimation, let alone any I said otherwise. Ah, but speaking of carrots, if you have to sample any of these vegetables, let me see what's in that field over there. Go behind door number 2. I call it that texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots? So hard and flavorless, I may as well be chewing out a piece of wood. That all but confirms that these are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Can't you see they're pumpkins? I know with any sense you'll try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself, and what's more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder though if there's anything more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Lemon. My tongue is just poison. It's a lemon, you idiot. A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How could something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Maybe sometime before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Thanks for entertaining my pet rabbit. Enamored with the grapes and oranges. Less so the pumpkin though. I heard long way we came blah 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 blah. The lemon, the deceiver. First time, was it? I hate for you to leave it such a bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon, have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this. Oh, okay, we go. Well, lemon muffin, do your worst. I believe lemons do grow on trees. The internet will know. This is delicious. Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed this vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. We rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for any other ingredients. You burn their house down with the lemons. Demand to see Life's manager. Comes down to making the most of the resources at your disposal, and sometimes give you the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the Forum agonize over what was worth preserving and what will be consigned to history. Hard choices, but make them if we must, if we are to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. There was a period of time that I would play through the old school cave jump and aptitude science section of Portal 2 like monthly. That like 45-minute sequence where you fall down and you go through all the stuff and then you make your way back up. It was so good. Said moon rocks. Said we can't afford $1 of them, let them $1 million. I bought them anyway. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it inevitably seeks to eliminate all forms of negativity and seek perfection, and therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal, the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Its civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quests and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What is then the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and to make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Said the lemon's back. You know who I am? I'm the man who will burn your house down. With the muffins. Pardon my Eorzea, but what in the seven hells are you on about? And who are you anyway? Cooking away at your service, I'm here to prepare for your trip to the moon. Once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds, but don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of Aetheris' species as possible, if you're up to the challenge. He is. It's all been highly productive, probably. Let's go and see if Urianzi and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Ugh. Now we get to slog back. And not an aetherbite in sight. How dreadful. Most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? Los Hillmans is home to the Culinarians Guild and many less than savory establishments. Any dimmer-dammer knows about that. But that I have time to visit. The more I learn of Theris, the more I wish we could spare it from the final days. Alas, Heidelin's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. We've got one option. Light it up. I trust thy time at Margrat did bear fruit. Our own efforts too were rewarded. We possess now an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt for our guests, the relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them, and for us, for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlie and Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Lopperit here should further questions within my power to answer arise. Aw. Aha! Aha! I will not walk! Wayward troll has found its way back to the vexed veterinarian. Blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Just chatting in the rain. What's up, growing way? Indeed, me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw reconstructed environmental data for Theris at LXXXIX Alpha, that's why. Are so lovely and so leafy. Are all your forests like that? You should see the forest of the first. One was purple. Gasp! Gasp, I say. The star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous it must seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little. Oh no, the bunnies are sad. We must pep talk the rabbits. Hello, Thancred. How didst thou fare? I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations proceeded without interruption here, despite news of the coming end. We have the forum's leadership to thank for that. Doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death, and we hardly can tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not, though aided by our goodly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think so capable. I'm not sure I'm up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in you. I passed someone moping in Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps we must start with them. Let us be free of the bunnies. Haha! Oh, we're stuck with them still. Actually, Thancred, what do you got to say? Any cheeky one-liners? You best go with them. I don't think Orianti misjudged him, but growing way does look like he can use some emotional support. I still have work to complete elsewhere. I trust I won't return to find any Lopporits in tears. Just Lapras receiving beatdowns. It's a troubled researcher. Hello, troubled researcher. These are Lopporits. They're silly rabbits. Tricks are for kids. Burden shared is burden eased. Yes, yes. Engineer to save the ship. It's the son of a decade of Charlie engineering. It's built with peerless, elegant technology. It's all true, but none of it's a guarantee. Never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage, but even so, if it fails us, then what can we do? If it does, it could fall apart of the next flight, or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. You thought the aetherburners design was flawless too, and look how that turned out. You are familiar with these most daunting technology, and dost thou hold the power to allay his fears? You can tell me if there are any aspects of the ship design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our tasks, for one. I devised a means through which to employ gravity, a spatio-temporal spell, to regulate the environment and reduce everyone's health by a percentage. But what if it's not strong enough? You don't want it to be too strong. What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things? Aha, gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there, it's not so different from down there, you see. The same rules apply, and if you consider them as part of one great big cosmos rather than separate places. And they're off to talk about nerd things, and the Warrior of Light is going to fall asleep. I expect both parties to find comfort in this conversation. Yet if Thancred's tale be true, still others would benefit from insights born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Lopporits to attend them? Excellent idea, if you say so myself. There's not the we'd like more than to ease the hearts of the people of Aetheris and learn more about them while we're at it. Full glam am I to hear of it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Goku traded 100x gravity. And Goku pushed the muffin button. Alright. I gotta go find 3 people and give them Lopporits. Look forward to that. A place for every Lopporit and every Lopporit in their place. Hell yeah, ice cream. It's finally getting warm enough for oh my god, you have a floating book, you sneaky bastard. Yeah, now that the weather's finally turning around, I'm thinking about ice cream and iced tea, cider, the signs of warm weather. Finally, existence of sages and chirurgeons, but to imagine every illness or incident while my face is great experience beyond any of us say nothing of blah blah. How about a rabbit? Crew from the moon? Why did I not think of that? Oh, we gotta take out 8 people? Oh my goodness. That's more than 2 times 3. The end of the world. Oh my god, it's Margrat! Oh, she was part of the MSQ! Oh my goodness! God bless. One of my favorite characters in the entire game. You know, I was thinking about that in the back of my head, that I don't remember actually running into Margrat at any point during this sequence. And then you go talk to her later and you're just like, we were there when you did all this stuff for us. I'm just like, oh, maybe you were just sort of in the background. Now, Margrat! Oh my god, so good. The end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things, feasible one moment, other bollocks the next. And yet, I've never felt so alive. This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. Oh. Oh, she's just doing regular cover. I thought she was doing the angry me mode. Can't stop now. I've got my second wind. My second wind. Ah, this has made this entire sequence worthwhile. That the developers planted Margrat at some point on the MSQ, and of course there's no way of you knowing. Have you seen the envelope lying about? This imbecile refuses to give me the alchemic I ordered at that bloody slip of parchment. Have you seen a rabbit lately? Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damned envelope, I doubt they'll be any more help than you, and you've wasted enough of my time already. It'd be unfortunate for all involved to inflict this man upon the Lopporits. Hello. My face? What's wrong with my... Ow! Perhaps I am a bit tense. I was tasked with ensuring that the proper fauna, and only the proper fauna, are brought with us to the moon. However, the suitability of a few species is still under debate, and I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Have you talked to a rabbit? Including the Lopporits in our discussion would be a wonderful idea. I absolutely will. Perhaps biology itself might offer some clue as well. Get out of here, nerd. Look at you, edgy boy, with your lean... Edgy gal, sorry, Miss Rowe. Would you like to talk to rabbits? Consult our collaborators. Suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. Disagree! Brooding is always relevant. Attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips should the aetherburner make our original estimates unfeasible, but there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will turn inside out. Perhaps our lunar associates shall have more insight as so much weight constitute too much weight for our purposes. Anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now, so my back feels like a void sense played as the piano. Later seems fine if in need of a break. Despondent engineer. Let's leave it in my misery. The forum kind of points someone else. I apologize. Simply don't know what to do. How am I supposed to pilot the Ark if I'm already falling apart under the pressure? Have you talked to a rabbit? You know a starship pilot I might speak with? Truly? Well, there's no time to waste. Get out of here. Oh, he's skeptical. Heard of anything of what's on the moon? I've no doubt we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part of the plane is awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forbid me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the sea of stars and God knows what made by God knows who. Well, I know who. And now you know who. Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. She stared up at the Grinch and said, "Why, Santa Claus? Why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" Sorry, I'm going a little insane from this nonsense. Worries. No, I believe I'm fine, thank you. I'm confiding in my colleagues and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough. Sometimes the non sequiturs just write themselves. Nice ice cream. How might I help you? Oh, but how might I help you? What a lovely idea. I too notice people becoming rather tense, so I rush to pluck out some fresh fruit and fragrant tree leaves. Now I do only track down 100 or so cups. Don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. This woman's doing better than you are. Rude. Ugh, we need 3 more people. 3 more people, Scott, not you. Ah, there it is. Hyperventilating engineer. Test is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? You shouldn't die. You should go talk to a rabbit. Oh, do pardon me. I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern, even though we made you depart at any moment. And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind. And that is highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Go talk to a rabbit. Our visitors can help me triple check for structural flaws, you say? Wow, that would be wonderful. I'm breathing easily already. We do need to... Now that the weather is nice, we do need to plan. Distracted me. 56 bunches of weed in the ground. 56 bunches of weeds. Rip one out, add to the mound. 55 bunches of weed in the ground. I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see, but I found myself unable to relax at all. So I went on a walk and noticed these weeds and need to go talk to a rabbit. Pleasant conversation with partners and those so fuzzy. Goodness me, that sounds much better way to relax. Get out of here. One more. One more. Oh no, you're level-headed. You're not gonna need my help, are you? It's playing T-ball. Concerns, Nate. There's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make the work that go much slower. She seems to be coping well. Oh, one more. One more. Oh. Oh, you're unconcerned gleaner. I'm not even gonna bother. You're Chocobo Keep. You're not even part of this quest. Come on. Come on. One more, son of a bitch. No, they wouldn't make us go inside, would they? Alright. Try my chances, unconcerned gleaner. I don't like these odds, though. Yes. Go round around. How about up here? How about up here? Where are all the worried people? Up, up, up. No, not you. No entry. All right, time to hump doors. Probably in the main plaza, the functional doors. Facing the aetherburners. No entry. No entry. No entry. Entry! No, this is... Ugh. Jump it. No entry. No entry. No entry. All these doors are locked. Son of a beastie. Isn't 7 enough? Come on, we're close. Just find every anxious person hiding. Oh, fine. Let's go. Okay, fine. Still time that they snuck somebody out of the camp? I don't think so. Are you running out in a panic? Probably not. Oh, you know, I haven't done this yet in a bit. Oh, you're all the way. You're by a Pori over there. Ugh. No entry. Like hide and seek. Check outside here too. Say that I did. All right. They're all in the town somewhere. Unless they're like there. They'd be all, would they dump them in there? They might. Can't get up there though. Let's find out if we can get up there. Oh boy. I accidentally queued in for the extreme version of this quest line. Just doing regular. No, it's a big ol' can't get in there. Got like stuffed in the corner or something. Oh. I'm just kind of surprised that this whole wide area and there's not nobody here from it. There's that one guy. Yeah, he's not. He's just chilling. All right. There's nobody up here. Got to do this perimeter check. Left. All right, now we're gonna do this area. Just shake it down. Alright, no one here. No one here. No entry. No one here, no one here. Capricious researcher. This is the building we... No, not building across the way. There's no one in here. Oh, I can go back here. Alright, nobody there. That's where the quest hands in. Nobody back here, nobody back there. Ah, tried to do air drifting, it didn't work. You're a nice spot of a bother. No, not there. Not you. Man, what the H? Saw that dude. Oh, there he is. Hang on. It was blocked by the lamppost. Okay, we're out of here. He's harried. We got this. Oh, it's a dark colored mammalian. Go find a rabbit. All right. Why do you ski? These are all the people we found. That is all the people we found. That's a good touch. Hello, Eorzea. Through thine efforts, word hath spread throughout Labyrinthos, verily to a far greater number than we anticipated. Living Way doth gather more Lopporits as we speak. Shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attention, watch over them, I prithee. Stare at rabbits. Best ways burrows theme. Chitter chatter. It's still raining. No one cares. Hello, leading way.
Phew! Oh, finally some rest. Why, I haven't spoken so much in forever.
Forever. It's Thancred.
Lively, isn't it? The town is abuzz. Everyone eager to meet with our friends from the moon.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleeping Way. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh,
Your Urianger.
Conversations we had. He told us all about Aetheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial.
Had a bit of a drop frame issue?
Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that, Were it not for Eorzea and his teachings, we'd still be stuck on the moon, gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
Vanguard looks proudly on at his boyfriend.
What would they think if they could see Eorzea now? I dare say they'd be more than a bit surprised. And impressed, no doubt. Master Louisoix, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget.
Here we go. Glad we got to this stream.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Wilfsunn and Bloewyda, Sharlayan's foremost researchers in the field of teleportation magic, and Moonbreeder's parents.
It hath been some time. 'Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Bloewyda and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
Arthur, the nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
I'm sorry. It was remiss of me not to deliver the news in person. No, more than that. 'Twas I who...
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd seen her in years. She made her every choice of her own free will. No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized, and meaningless in the moment.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such grief. Even now, try as I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know, we always know.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Eorzea, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Eorzea and the others? She had to mull it over for a while. Arms crossed, brow furrowed in intense thought. But from that day on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read. all to try and understand you that much better. I'm sure it was annoying and exhausting at the time, but she only ever had the best of intentions.
And look at you now, at the center of the crowd. The reason there even is a crowd, having brought these people together. You've no idea how proud we are.
To see the boy our daughter trusted and believed in more than anyone grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go. So thank you, Eorzea, for being who you are.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder, she was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world and its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Oh, that one still gets me, guys. Oof. I'm gonna dry my tears a bit, and then I can keep playing. Oh, man. Oh, you must be one of the Scions, correct? Yeah, I guess I am. Thank you for caring for my daughter. The time she spent with you was all too short, but I know she was proud to have you as comrades. Eorzea is too, I'm sure. And I certainly feel better for knowing he has good friends to look after him. See that he comes home from time to time, will you? Classical Rogadan language isn't so different from Eorzea. Did you ever wonder why we named our daughter Moon's Bride? Bloewyda. When I first held her, the moon was shining silver and full. The whole world seemed to glow. I knew it had chosen her, that she would be a beacon of that selfsame life. Of course, we'd later hear our fair share of jokes about how we ought to have gone for Sun instead, with how bright and stubborn she was. But fiery as my Bloewyda was, she was always kind. Kind and gentle. What a terrible day for it to rain. Oh, Viola, be assured that I am fine. I am. So glad to see them too after so very long. Gladder still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone. Thou hast my gratitude for lending courage to the Lopporits. Not disposed to rest on their laurels, several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few may still come hither seeking counsel, and so I shall remain to aid them as need be. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Elpis. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out the west gate. I could go myself, but we don't know whose help she's less like to scorn. Not to mention that, much to my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing. Until later. Alright, so now we're gonna go towards Lopporits. And we will continue our mucking about. So 88. Well, probably won't be mucking about for much longer. We're gonna go over to Eorzea. We're gonna help people out there, and then it's off to the Idoscope. So we're almost there. Oh, there's the other one. Ah, I can do this later. We're at time. We made it almost. Getting close to have made it. But yes, so there's two things that I remember from this whole downtime. One was Mr. Dank, and the other one was that cutscene. And I knew that there were some good moments along the way, but well, it's all gonna be just waiting for Idoscope now. So thanks everybody for hanging out. And Saturday we'll be playing a new game. More of this on Wednesdays. We're probably about, I don't know, 4 sessions out from the end of Endwalker. It's coming close. It's coming fast. It might even be 3. No, it's safer to say 4, I think. I think Ultimate Thule is going to take longer than I think it will. So please look forward to that, and I will catch you all later.